Hi guys. I think I'm live. Sometimes it takes a second. There we go. I am live. Okay, good. So I wanted to, let's see. My phone is just a little bit crooked because it's all straight here on my desk. So I wanted to get on here and do our, always turn it the wrong way. I wanted to show you my cute little bag for my Minnie Mouse bag. It's like so cute. So this is the Totes, Notes and Totes is what it's called. The stamp set to me wasn't that exciting, but I did actually use a little bit of it. I also had to buy it because check out the You're Fabulous. I mean, obviously I need it for that. And then all the pieces. I think the star is really the tote part. You can make all kinds of totes with it. And you see there's a water bottle, there's a lotion bottle, there's a shell, couple shells. These are like little pieces. I'll show you that go on the edge of the, there's even a fence. They even have like a little fence. You can make a beach scene. Even this is actually like a magazine, like a book. And that's what this stamp News Flash or Fabulous is supposed to go on the book. I was thinking it might be fun to print something else on there. I'm actually gonna, that actually gives me an idea. Maybe I should print a little like Harry Potter for my niece, like print out a like image of it and stick that on there. I think she'd find that to be fun. And stick, so I can stick some of those pieces in here, but I was also thinking I could stick even like some money in there, or let me see if a note, a gift card. Yep, a gift card will fit in there. You know what I mean? Like I made sure it was popped up just a little bit so that you could still stuff something in there. I could have glued it totally flat right on there, but I decided I wanted a little bit of it to pop up a little. And so that's why it's popped up a little. So anyway, so that's our card. We're gonna get started on doing. I have all my little pieces here. Just a basic frame, basic layout. So we have just basic white. And where's the blueberry? I know I cut some. There we go. Or the berry burst. Okay, so this is melon mambo, berry burst, and then white. Those are the layers. And then I cut out, I have this one. I cut out that's a different paper. There we go. I cut out a few different, totes. This one's a little bit off, but I think I can trim it and it'll be okay. And so this one, obviously it's already done, but I just really wanted to focus on having this gold. This is a clearance paper right now. I think it's only like $6 or something. It's called the Marvelous Marbled or something to that effect. I have a big packet of it here, right? There it is. And it's got all kinds of like gorgeous swirled paper. Like this one's the red swirled marbled elegance. It's got the red and gold swirls. It's got all these gold flecks on this one. I don't know. I just was in love with this paper and I thought I'm going to make a Minnie Mouse card with that one. So that's what I did. So I cut this out and I cut out a bunch of little pieces. I also have that. Let's see. And I cut out, because of this, I wanted the bottom of I wanted to really like amp up the gold. So a lot of my pieces, a lot of my stuff has the gold etching on it. And I don't know if I wanted the gold handle on this or not. So we'll get out a gold handle. You could even make those into like headphones. I've got a couple handles. I'll get those out. I already just cut everything ahead of time. And let's see. And I wanted the gold. I have the black glasses. And I cut out some gold. I cut out a gold bottom of the hard. There we go. There we go. For the bottom of your bag, glasses. So I've got that one. I cut out all the pieces and then I knocked it over. So there we go. And then the glasses and then a scarf. And that's where I've got a couple options of scarf. I even have white, but I don't think white is going to work in this situation because there's almost no white on this particular purse. On this purse, there was a lot more white. And then I also have these other little gold pieces. I'll get those last though, when we decide on our handle. So when I get it all folded up, and then we're going to put our Minnie on it. So if you want to have the large, like open tote bag, you just fold these sides, and there were these little pieces that I trimmed off the edge here. So you see there's this little funky little piece. I just trimmed that off. And so when you're doing your tote, you can also make these little strips that'll cover up this part here, but I kind of like it. To me, I just think it seems more like a big tote. Now it'll fold even smaller into like a rectangle, but that's not what I want. That's not the look I want. So we'll go ahead and we'll decide. We wanted to glue this gold to the bottom, so that for sure is going to happen. And then I was wondering if I wanted the gold handle with the gold Minnie, or if it's going to be a, where I choose a colored handle. I think a colored handle because I want the gold accents. So do I want this one? Or, yeah, I don't think we're going to use the white scarf. Or I don't know if I want this matchy-matchy though. I kind of like not having it matchy-matchy, you know what I mean? But I think the berry is less likely to have been the handle, like it's more likely that would have been the handle. And then I guess in the end, we will tie this on there. But you know what? Let me try the white scarf to just change it up because I want it to look finished. The white, that seems so bright white. We'll see how it looks under let's see how this looks on here. So, oh, this is the inside. I trimmed another one that was the outside. Nope, that's the inside. Nope. I know I trimmed some that were small for the front. There we go. Okay. So let's see. So when we get our layers down, I don't want to stamp my layers yet. I'm just going to lay them down. So I'm changing it up just a tiny bit from the previous one because the other one had more colors on it. So I don't know if I want a white scarf with, I'm going to stamp on it, or do I want a berry scarf? See, the other one, like the berry looked so good, but I feel like I need to bring the berry in. I think the, I think the berry is going to work. We'll work it out. Okay, so we can start our little gluing session. I'm going to glue these first little pieces only because they're the most fiddly. So there were these two little pieces I need to glue down. So these tiny pieces, that's why I kept them in the bottom. And then everything was all nice and organized, and then the cat knocked my little bucket. So there's these little tiny pieces that get cut out along with this little triangle that usually cuts out with it. So these go on like an edge of a bag. Like if you had the rectangle one, you could put these on the corner of your bag. We're going to use them in a different way, but it'll still be cute. So I've got one. Did I grab the other one? There it is. Okay. Two. So let me get my tweezers. I'm going to hold this in my tweezers and then add a little glue. Just a little, not a ton. So I hope you're having a good magical Monday. I'm trying to do more and more of my little cards. I'm just feeling very motivated to get more of them done. Keep dropping it. I think because I'm not used to holding it in my left hand, but I don't think I can glue with my right hand. So, ooh, that's so much. That is so much glue. There we go. Too much glue. So we'll dab that off with just a Kleenex because we just need a tiny bit of glue on the back of this. Normally I would maybe use a glue eraser or something, but that's not really going to work with the gold. And you'll see this particular gold that I'm using is actually just left over from an envelope. I normally have gold foil, like one piece, but I could not find it. I only had brushed gold, and I just wanted to use something that was similar to what we already had available. So, and I know if you check out my website, it's so weak right now, but where it is, where is it? Okay, there it is. But that's okay. One thing at a time. The good news is all my videos are on YouTube, so that's good. I just need to make sure, I need to do some other types of videos. Again, you don't have to put a ton of glue. I don't want it to splosh all over. And it just goes in these little, they look like little tiny goldfish. Actually, that's a good, if I do like another little cat, if I do another cat-like card, these could little, what are they called? Fasteners, you know, type thing would be good on a goldfish card. Okay, so now with the glasses, gluing them on is tricky. Same thing, I actually just was really gentle in gluing. Like a little block on the end. Okay. And I'm going to blob just a little bit because it's a little blobby and I don't want it to get on the front of my card. It's a little hard, and I mean, there are different people that have different tricks for this. I'm just using white glue. I don't like the fine tip glue. I find it to be too fussy. So I'm just using this white glue. You know, I used the fine tip glue several different times and it just kept getting stuck on me. Now some people are very good at using it. Now don't get totally freaked out about it not lining up perfectly. I'm doing these first just so they can dry. Because there is the wet glue and you know, I just want this to dry. And then I might need to get my little eraser in here. I'm just going to take my nail and pick up some of that glue. You could take your tweezers too, you know what I mean, and just scrape that little excess off just so it doesn't mess up the shine of the glasses. Actually, that makes me think I should probably send one of these to my niece with like a little, I don't know, a little, I think a little Harry Potter in there will look cute. I think she'd appreciate that. Okay, so I want these to dry and then we'll snip off. I snipped off some of the things like I didn't want the gold. I mean, I didn't have the gold, what's the word? the gold ear holder things, and so I don't know, I snipped them off because to me they looked a little funny with the black. Okay, so we've got this. We can glue this on, and then we'll do the mini part. It's not a complicated heart. It's a little fussy because of the die cuts. This is fussy because of the die cuts for sure. And we just want this to be about where a handle would be. Okay. That reminds me, I need to send my niece her gift. My other niece. Well, the twins. I have like a little gift for the twins. And then, oh, I don't know why I was putting away the glue. And then, yeah, I just like it popping up. So I didn't, you know, I don't know. I like it popping up. So, and I'm not putting anything too serious in it. So, all right, so let me glue this. Put a little glue on this. And then we'll do the mini head. It's not a like revolutionary design. I've seen some people do like an actual Minnie Mouse with like black and white. I just opted for the Minnie Mouse head, and you'll see what I do to make the bow. You're gonna think it's super fun. Wait, just wait. So cute. So cute. Done. All right, so then to make our bow, I got some gold. We have other type of, we have real gold paper. Oh, I was gonna stamp too. So this is this one's a 1-inch circle punch. You need one gold one. And again, this is just a scrap of gold that I have. We also sell the gold foil. I didn't have any. And so I'm using this scrap that I have. And this is a 3/4 inch punch. We don't sell these punches anymore, this particular one or the 1-inch anymore. But you can find them on Amazon, or you can also use other type of circles that we sell. You know what I mean? It's totally up to you. You decide. I'm just using what I have on hand. So, all right, so we've got that. And let me get my little mini on here. So to do my mini, I actually used glue dots for my mini because of the gold. The white glue sometimes doesn't really hold that well to the front of the gold. And I needed a little piece of glue to put my ears on. So the glue dot is more effective on the glue, on the gold. And so that's right, about right, because it doesn't go down too far. There we go. And again here. Oops, darn, I got some, I think there's some glue right there. Yeah, I got some, I wonder how to get that off. Let me see if the glue eraser will get it off. No, it just seems to be making it worse. I don't know. It's just like smeared. I'm trying to think of what would get the glue off. Let me try something really quick. I'm going to try a corner of this. I use alcohol to get the glue off things sometimes. I wonder if the alcohol, like light alcohol, would shine it. It does. Okay. Let's try it. We have more gold. We'll let it dry. Okay. Come on. There we go. It's taking off most of that little ugly spot that I had. So let's see. I think I'm going to replace it. It just looks so ugly. I got the glue all over it. I think I'll just add one more circle, just a 1-inch circle over the top. Or I'll just do a new 1-inch circle. It's not a bad circle, it's just when you want the gold to be so shiny, you know, and it's looks so blah. So, all right, so I just cut a fresh one. This one has glue. You know what, I'm just gonna cut all new ones. We're gonna save these for something else where it's not, because it's a designer bag, so you want it to look all cute looking, you know what I mean? There's a 3/4 inch. And I don't have any glue on my hands now. I think, make sure before you handle the gold, make sure your hands are all free of glue and ink. That's basically why it got so bad. All right, let me just make sure all this is on my hands. Okay, good, done. All right, so let's go ahead and let my fingers dry for a second, and I'm gonna stamp my, I'm gonna stamp on this with, I'm gonna stamp on this one. I feel like the Berry Burst. We'll see. I'm gonna stamp on the Berry Burst on these two, and then we'll try that one last. So there's also these flowers that are, there's these flowers that are in the stamp set, and I thought, oh, that would be fun to put on my, scarf. Purse candy is like the new thing. They're basically fancy keychains, or it's funny, I've also seen these, like, they're basically what happened is someone took a necklace and put it on someone's purse, and they thought it looked so cool. Now they sell specifically designed like jewelry for your actual purse, which like makes me laugh, basically. I don't know, to me it just makes me laugh. So okay, so we'll decide between these two when we put it on, because that's like one of the last steps. I don't know how I'm gonna stamp on this one. It'll be kind of faded. We'll see. Let's stamp. We can stamp the Melon Mambo maybe on there. Well, I don't know, maybe I'll just stamp the Berry Burst on this one too, but it'll fade in. So we either have to go with the darker or a lighter. Because if we do same on same, I think if we get away with stamping oops, I cleaned the wrong one. I have a darker, I have red, and then I have blackberry. Let me try blackberry on here. That's pretty dark though. Let me do the cherry cobbler and see how that looks against the Berry Burst. It might actually be the color we need. Let's just try it. Because when it's stamped, it won't really look red. It's gonna look a little more, yeah, okay, that worked. So the cherry cobbler on the Berry Burst might be the one that we needed. I just had to think about it a minute. So the reason why, just so you know, the reason why the cherry cobbler works against the Berry Burst is because they're like, this has a lot of red in it, along with like different white, which lightens it into this like purpley, and then a touch of blue, which makes it like a purpley pink. And then red, cherry cobbler is basically red that has a lot of black in it. So instead, Blackberry Bliss is like just dark, super black purple, you know, whereas cherry cobbler is like red. So adding that tiny bit of red, it just darkens it without it actually being, what's the word, too, too dark. You know, if I did Blackberry Bliss, it would be almost like a black color, whereas this actually looks like it's matching. And so that's good. No, baby. No, 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 no. Oops, I just bent my card. See, that's what I don't like it when you come around, Bubba. All right, so we've got all our things stamped. Let me make sure there's no ink on my hands. We'll do, oh, I need to do the You're Fabulous in a second, too. I was trying to do that last because I was trying to figure out how I was gonna. You can sit there, but don't sit on this. You can sit there, but not on this. Okay, so let's do the You're Fabulous. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mask off the newsflash part because the newsflash part doesn't really make sense unless it's on a magazine. And so I'm actually making sure that's totally masked off. And you have to be a little careful because there's a line in between the newsflash and You're Fabulous. And I got the line. Yeah, that's good. And so, you know, see, I masked off all that so that ink can just go in the garbage. And let me stamp in the corner. Stamp in the corner right here. And I was wanting to do something else in that corner, but I don't know. I think maybe just adding some little gems or something. I don't know. So we've got Your Fat. Oh, that looks bad. No, that didn't work. We got to do it again. I got it too wonky. Yes, that's a technical term. Okay, let's go down in. Yeah, see, I'm getting that line again. There we go. Just in the corner, just a touch in the corner. I'm glad we figured out that scarf because I was going round and round and round with that scarf. Okay. The cats are not hungry. It's funny how they're like, you've never fed me before. Please feed me. I'm dying. I may die of starvation right now. And let me stamp. I'm going to stamp the insides actually. Let me stamp them with Berry Bliss. Not Berry Burst. I forgot. A little all over the place here. I had it all organized, but I think because I just got distracted. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to do the whole stamp, just some of it in the corner. Just a little bit of it in the corner. Just for cute little accent. I love a card that's stamped inside. To me, it just is such a sweet little like gesture. People open it and are like, oh, that's so cute. There's something inside. So, all right, so those stamps are stamped. Then I'm going to take a little alcohol wipe. There's something about when I use red, I feel like, or any kind of the reds and pinks, I tend to get it on my fingers. Yep, see, like my finger touched. There's something about those colors. I don't know if my fingers are just fat. I don't know. There's something about whenever I have to use dark blue or red, I always get my fingers in it. Okay, so now we can just glue these layers together and start getting our stuff on. Everything's pretty much dry. So I think I was waiting on the You're Fabulous because I wasn't quite sure if I wanted it in the corner or what, and I don't know why I was hesitating. So, but I just thought a fun little purse card would be good. Minnie Mouse purse card. Cute, cute, cute. Get this all glued down. Just a basic layout, nothing fancy. I've got another card here that's another simple layout this week, but I'm trying to get more cards for you guys out. I'm working on a couple different ideas, so just be patient. I'm getting them out, but I'm also trying to put out reels for you guys because not everyone wants to watch the long ones. So, because, you know, it's a commitment to sit down and watch like a 30-minute video. So, there we go. That looks good. Let me glue it inside my finished one too. Well, I got the glue out. I think I'm definitely going to make like a little Harry Potter book now because that makes me just smile. The idea that I would put a little Harry Potter book in here and maybe like, I don't know, a bottle of something, you know, cut out one of those bottles. I just was focusing on the purse and the uniqueness of the purse first. Okay, oh, I got more glue on my hands. Before I handle that gold again, I want to make sure everything's all good. Now, if you go a little over the edge on your glued piece on the bottom here, when I was putting on the other purse, some of it, I put it on and didn't realize it was crooked, and there was like this little pink like piece of purse hanging off. So I actually just trimmed it with my scissors, just did a little snip. So, okay, so we've got all this glued, or ready to be glued. Yeah. So let's glue that down. Harry Potter, what else would I put in there? Put maybe like a Rice Krispie, like Minnie Mouse, or you know, like those Mickey Rice Krispie bars or something, because those are always cute. I'm using the double-sided tape, tearing tape, because it's just convenient. And I know it's going to hold this pocket nice and tight. Now, the pocket is not perfectly, you know, sealed, so just remember that you can't put anything too tiny in there because it will fall out the bottom. And so, see, it's a little bit off. You can see even my gold piece is a little bit off. I was a little crooked when I put it on, but no one will notice, so it's okay. So I'm going to put my little, I notice because I just pay attention to my stuff. But I rarely restart my cards or restart something because I did it wrong. I did it on the up card. I felt so dumb because I had put it on. Okay. Let me get this centered. Yep. That looks about right. All right, there we go. All centered down. Then I'm going to go ahead and add a glue dot and put this on. I actually love having this because this picks up the berry burst. Having this little scarf picks up the berry burst layer. I don't know, I just like the berry burst. Even though technically berry burst isn't in this paper, I liked it better than the flirty flamingo. That little contrast to me just looked good. And when I finish with my, you'll see when I finish with my, so I'm going to roll up this little glue dot. When I finish with my little, what's the word? When I finish with my, I'm going to put the glue dot right on the handle so it doesn't overlap onto the part where I might tuck my little treasures in there. And I put the scarf like right here. Some people put it up like higher, but I put it right there. And then let's glue our, oh, this already has a glue dot on Okay, so now let's glue our little circles, our Minnie Mouse ears. Oops, didn't pick it up. There we go. And like again, this is a 1-inch punch and a 3/4 inch punch. But we also sell circles that are different sizes too. There's other dies that we sell. It's just the punches. At some point, it's not profitable for them to keep selling punches because you buy the punches and then you've got a surplus. So it's not something that's, you know, bought regularly. So they were kind of losing money. And our company is a debt-free company. So they really pay attention and don't waste. It's just their thing. They just never waste. They're very careful because they don't take out any loans. And I really appreciate that concept. No debt. Because I mean, look at how much cuter that is, the gold instead of the white, especially with the gold flecks in there. I was going to have a white bottom, but I was like, I need to go find the gold. Okay, so now for the Minnie Mouse head ears, remember how I told you there's this little piece here. I was telling you how this little piece has the hardware for your handle, and it has this little triangle connected to it. A detail, which to me makes it just perfect. And so there we go. So cute. And then we'll add a little dot so that it actually looks a little more finished. Let me put some glue on the back of this and place it down. Just a touch. You don't need a ton. And it's already got those little glue dots peeking out too. But there we go. Oh, this handle's a little crooked. I was going to say, why isn't it more spaced? There we go. So now we've got our Minnie Mouse there. Then I'm going to add a little, you can use any of the pearls. I just happen to, these are on clearance right now, and so I happen to grab one of the, these are the blooming pearls, but we have different gold pearls. It's crooked. My bow is crooked. Hold on. You know I'm never going to tolerate a crooked bow. So let's get that straight. There we go. And then I'm just going to take one of the blooming pearls. I just took a gold one and put it in the center so that covers up the points. Done! How cute is that? So cute. And so we've got our scarves. I can use those scarves on something else. We've got our glasses. Now with the glasses, it had these little black pieces hanging on the back, and I decided to cut those off. So let me cut, because again, I didn't want the ear pieces, or yeah, like the legs, so to speak, of my glasses showing, because I think they just clashed a little bit with my gold. And so I'm just going to put a little glue dot, pop those in the corner. And I feel like there was something else I was going to add. And I'm putting a glue dot on each heart because they're pretty frail, these little glasses. And so as much as I want them to kind of hang and just be like free, they're kind of frail and more than likely they're gonna fall. So I'm having them hang off the side there. And I took my Winkastella. Oh, I was wondering what fell. Yeah, there we go. I was wondering what had fallen down. It was my glue. Okay. So then I take my Winkastella, and I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. Other than, you know, whatever treat you want to add inside. I think I got this one a little bit flatter than this one. But other than whatever treat you want to add inside the purse. There we go. So this is a Winkastella. It's like a glitter pen. You just got to be careful because sometimes when you first go to use it, like a big blob will come out. So I'm actually going to color my black hearts now that it's attached, because it takes a while for the Winkastella to dry, especially if you're using a ton of it. And I'm not even squeezing again because it keeps a lot of the wet glitter right in the brush. You don't even need to like keep re-squeezing a ton unless you're going over like a big area. Most of the time there's quite a bit in there, and I only re-squeeze it every so often. Yeah, let me make sure it's in the corners down here where I have that little glue mix up. Yeah, and that'll add that little bit of shine to the oh, that was the other thing I wanted to add. I knew there was one other thing. I wanted to add a tag. I saw someone add, they added on their thing, they added the Minnie Mouse tag. And I thought that was a fun idea. They wrote Minnie on the tag and then attached it. I'm trying to think where I would put it because we got the scarf over there. I guess we could have it over here. We've got the glasses hanging there, so it's kind of like you don't really want it. And we've got our sentiment up there. So I guess having it here with the scarf would be okay. Or maybe it's too much. I think it might be too much because of all the gold. I think it might just be a little too much. But they had the little Minnie Mouse tag hanging off, and I thought that was fun. But see, I kind of like that it's asymmetrical. I don't want to try and make it symmetrical with the glasses and the scarf. So I think we'll lay off. But it was fun. They actually tried to write her name in like the Minnie Mouse handwriting, and that was kind of fun, and they added it. I forget who it was that did it. I'm trying to think. I want to say her name was Debbie. And so, but I got the idea of this from her, just the basic Minnie Mouse idea, but then I came up with all this other stuff on my own. But look how cute it is. So cute and fun. Now I get to go and make something to go inside and send it off to my little monkey. So this one's nice and clean. Look, I kept this like gold real nice and clean. This one wasn't too bad, but that other one got so dirty. I'll have to use it for something else. But yeah, so you can see the difference of the two. They're still the basic same design, but the same basic design, but obviously the paper kind of dictated which scarf to use, even which handle, because there was so much of the Melon Mambo on this one. I felt like a dark handle was cute, and then I actually matched the bow with the scarf. I could have, I wanted it to be the opposite color of the handle, you know, so it kind of popped, and I guess I did the same thing here. I didn't even realize that because it's so matchy-matchy, you know, you don't want everything matchy-matchy-matchy, and so I liked having that little bit of contrast. And so, yeah, super fun. So that's my card. So cute. So thanks for tuning in. I'm so glad I could show you guys this card today. And be sure to go and watch any other, Facebook deletes these after only 30 days. So you can watch these here, but you can also watch anything that I've made on YouTube at Fabulous Stamper in YouTube. And you can see all kinds of cards that I've made over the years, Disney inspired cards primarily, but also just anything fun that I thought would be cute. And because I just love certain things. I've got actually a hot cocoa card for us next. So, and we'll see what I design right after we're done here, because I think I'm going to make that little Harry Potter thing for my niece right now. So, all right, well, have a great day. Thanks so much for tuning in. Bye. Come on. Finish. I want to finish.